People don't understand how wild working in a restaurant can be. The most chaotic server I ever worked with was at this restaurant in Nashville. We'll call him Jimmy. Jimmy was very southern and in his 50s, and most of the servers at this place were in their 20s, so he kind of stood out. And Jimmy basically organized a gang in this restaurant and secretly tried to run the place. So after I'd been there a while, I started hearing different servers being called FIs, and I didn't know what that meant. And then one day Jimmy explained it to me while we were rolling silverware. He said, FI stands for f***ing idiots, and you're either an FI or a Sophie, which stands for stamp out the f***ing idiots. He said I was neither. I was fine. He basically saw most new servers as FIs, and he tried to use the Sophies to get as many of them to quit as possible. He believed management overhired. So he'd make their lives miserable by making them redo side work, yell at them to hurry up at the computer, etc. I literally saw him turn to this new young female server while they were rolling silverware and say, you know you're the worst server I ever seen? He wanted all the shifts. He'd pick up as many doubles and closes as he could, and he would drive around in between his lunch and dinner shift in this beat up old pickup truck and drink a 32-ounce Miller Lite and smoke a joint, like every day. And he was a backseat manager. Like no matter what management did, it was a horrible decision. He'd always shake his head and say something like, what they ought to do is get rid of all this carpeting and put in hardwood flooring. We're slow because of all the carpeting. He was never satisfied with the level of business. If it was not packed within 15 minutes of opening, he'd announce, it's a bust, but I loved working with him. If you work in restaurants, maybe you understand that.